I'm glad to get out of that truck. It's time to go fishing. Time to go fishing, Chelsea. It's cold outside. Oh, I'm thinking about fishing. Oh, it makes me feel warm and toasty. Makes you feel warm and toasty. Well, it's not warm and toasty right now, but what it is time for is our Sunday afternoon Bible story. This gospel train is chugging the track, it's chugging the track. This gospel train is chugging the track, chugging to the glory land. Yes, it is, Chesley. This gospel train. That's just something how we sing about. And we're not really on a train. We can just play like. We can play like. And who wants on this gospel train? The ones that want to go see Jesus. Oh, up in the glory land. Yes, the ones that love Jesus want to go see him in the glory land someday to live forever. Jesse, that's an exciting thing. And who's going to go? It's going to be the people that love the Lord. That's what we talk about. It's people that love Jesus, want to serve him, live for him every day, and tell others. That's right, tell others about this wonderful Jesus that we can serve. Chesley, today our story is entitled Rescuing Jeremiah from Her Cistern. What is a cistern? Chesley, a cistern is a thing that holds water. We can just call it a pit. We can do that. Just call it a pit, or a well, anyway. But we're going to get into the story, and it's really kind of scary. I don't like scary things. Well, Chesley, it turns out really good. God has a plan for his man, Jeremiah, who is a prophet. Now, Chesley, this story is taken from Jeremiah chapter 38, verses 1 through 16. And Jeremiah is in the Old Testament, right? It's going to see Jesus. Yes, and this gospel train is chugging the train. Yes, Chesley, you've already done that. So let's go on to our story. Now, there's a man named Shephatiah. He was a son of, we'll just go on and say that there was a man named a prophet that was named Jeremiah, and he was very faithful to. Oh, Alicia's watching. Now, Alicia is watching. That's right, and we're glad. And she has some grandkids watching. She just might, and we're just glad that she is watching. And she watches all the time because she remembers you from when she was a little girl, and I'm glad she does and tells others about you and listens every Sunday. And I think she is faithful. She is faithful, and we appreciate that, Alicia, very, very much. Now, so we had this prophet Jeremiah, and he was chosen to speak the truth. When the Lord spoke to him, he spoke the truth and nothing but the truth. And here was these people, God's people, they had not lived right, they had not done well, and so the Lord was going to have to bring judgment on them. And so they're going to get us thinking. Well, it wasn't a spanking. It was, if you want to call it that, they were in danger now because of their sin, and so now they were going to be taken captive. And so Jeremiah had said, you're going to be taken captive. And he said, so you need to just go ahead and be a captive. No, I've done a way out. No, they couldn't fight their way out of this because this was God's plan for them. Because of their sin, they were going to have to pay for it. And so in our story here, it talks about Jeremiah been telling the people, said, now this is what the Lord says, everyone that stays in Jerusalem will die from war or from famine or disease. But those who surrender to the Babylonians will live. Their reward will be life. And so they'll get to live. And the city of Jerusalem will certainly be handed over to the army of the king of Babylon, who will capture it. Well, there was officials that didn't like that. And they said, we're going to do something about it. And they didn't like what Jeremiah said, so they did just making a big fit. And they did it, and he's in trouble now. Yes, he was in trouble. They went and they said, he's making the people, they're getting scared, and they're getting nervous, and they're not even going to fight. The soldiers won't even fight. So they said, this man, Jeremiah, must die. Oh, no, he's a man of God. He's a true man. Yes, he's a true man of God. But they said, this man, Jeremiah, he has got to die. Said he's a traitor. He is not. He's speaking the truth. He's God's man. Yes, he was God's man speaking the truth, but they didn't recognize that, and they were out to take him out. They wanted to kill him. But you know what, Chesley? We're going to see what God's going to do. They took Jeremiah, and they said to the king, this is Zedekiah. He's awful. We got to get rid of him. So he said, okay, do whatever you want to. You can go ahead and put him in a cell. So the Bible said they took him and lowered him. They took him out of the cell he was in, and they lowered him with the ropes into an empty cistern, into this pit in the courtyard and in the prison yard. And it said that he told who it belonged to, a member of the royal family. There was no water in this cistern. Well, that's a good thing you could drown in it. But Chesley, there was a thick layer of mud at the bottom, and Jeremiah sank down into it. He's just horrible. I don't like it. I can't stand it. Chesley, turn around. We're going to tell the rest of the story. No, I'm scared. Well, Chesley, let's just see what it says. But in verse 7 says, but there was a man named Abimelech, and he was an important official, and he heard that Jeremiah was in the cistern. What's he going to do? He's going to get cheating out. Well, Chesley, he was concerned because he really believed that Jeremiah was a man of God, and he is a man of God. And so the king was holding court there, and so Abimelech, he rushed from the palace to speak with him, and he said, "Oh, my lord the king," said, "these men have done a horrible, evil thing. Now they got Jeremiah, and they put him in prison. You got to down here in the cistern. You got to hurry." That was it. You got to hurry. You've got to hurry. It's just really bad what has happened. So what he heard this, and said, "You know what? He's going to die. You've got to do something." And said, "So my lord the king," so he was able to get help here now. Abimelech had rushed to the king, and the king said, "Okay," said, "take 30 men with you and go down and rescue it." No! Helpers, Chesley. Yes, you had one man that was a leader that was willing to stand up, and that's good, but this leader couldn't do it by himself. Here again, you need them helpers. Last week we talked about helpers are very important, and now we say it again. Now here, helpers, see? Well, he couldn't do it by himself. Abimelech couldn't do it by himself, but the king said, get 30 helpers. So he rounded up 30 men. And he said, they've done, this evil thing has been done. So, he said, take those 30 men, you pull Jeremiah out of that cistern before he dies. So Abimelech took those men with him, and he went down. He said, all right, got down in there, and he said, now look, we've got to find some old rags. Why do you want some old rags? What does he need that for, Chesley? Well, here's the plan. They're going to turn it, make it like into a rope. And said, so what they did, they had all these old rags and discarded clothing. He carried him down to the cistern, and there has Abimelech, he lowered it down. Here they've made a rope, and they say, and said, now you take this, and said, you put these rags, the place where they had all these thick rags, put those under your arms, and said, we're going to lift you out so it won't be as painful. He's going to get out of there. Can they get him out? Is he going to try to suck him under? Well, I know, Chesley, the mud is going to try to suck him under and hold him down. That's the reason it took so many. I tell you what, it's a good thing to be a helper. Never underestimate the importance of a helper. Oh, but you need the leaded helpers. Oh, one leader, but you need all these helpers. And they go all working together, and they go saying, we're going to get you. I believe they were, Chesley. I think they were encouraging him. As Jeremiah was wondering if he was just going to die there. Then he had spoken the word of the Lord. He had spoken the word of the Lord, and the Lord's going to help him. Chesley, even if he had died, he would have gone on and he's going to be with the Lord. But here he is now waiting for these people. And then as here came the rope down, and he put all those rags under his arms they had, and here they began to pull him up, and it was so hard, and they was trying, they was trying, and they was praying. They no doubt was praying. They were crying out to the Lord to help them. They kept pulling on that, and they put those under his arms. Then when Jeremiah was ready, they pulled him out, so Jeremiah was returned to the courtyard guard, the palace prison where he remained. Oh, I tell you what, but he was out of that place. He was a place of safety. He did the right thing, Chesley. He did the right thing, and something horrible happened, but yet it was still, God wasn't finished with him. He still had more for him today. And one day Zedekiah, the king, he sent for Jeremiah. He brought him out to an entrance here to talk to him. I want to ask you something. And don't hide the truth from me. No, Jeremiah's a man of God. He doesn't want to get that in prison. He don't want back in that thing. No, he doesn't want back in that cistern anymore. But what he does know, he's still going to speak the truth. I think I just said I don't have anything to say. No, Chesley, he was going to say what the Lord said. Otherwise, he wasn't going to say anything. He wasn't going to say the wrong thing. He was just going to be saying the right thing. He said, the king said, I don't want you to hide anything from me. He said, Jeremiah said, if I tell you the truth, you will kill me. And if I give you advice, you won't listen to me anyway. And King Zedekiah made him a promise. Are you reading this in God's word? Chesley, right there it says, he said, I give you advice, or you tell me, you said, I'm afraid you'll kill me. If I tell you the truth, you'll kill me. And if I give you advice, you won't listen to me anyway. But King Zedekiah made him a promise. He said, as surely as the Lord our Creator lives, I will not kill you or hand you over to the men who want you dead. That's right, Chesley. That's exactly what he said. Oh, my. I tell you what a relief it was for Jeremiah. But the thing was that Jeremiah was going to speak the truth anyway, which he did. And God blessed him and helped him. And as he spoke truth, and Jeremiah was kept safe, he was not killed. He spoke the truth anyway. He was willing to speak the truth, live or die. He was going to say what God wanted him to say. God blessed him and helped him. And Chesley, just like Jeremiah had said, that people were there for all that whole length of time, just like he said, go ahead and plant your gardens, you're going to live here, and said it's going to be all these years are going to go by. He told him how many years, and then you'll be free. And you know what, Chesley? This was a faithful man. And God rewards faithfulness. God rewards faithfulness. Yes, he does, Chesley. We need to emphasize that all the time. Even if it means we get into some trouble. And can you get out of it, Chesley? God is going to take care of us. When we speak truth, God's going to help us. And that's what happened here. He got out of that place, and then when the king wanted to talk to him, he still told him the truth. He didn't just hold, or he didn't make up something. He could have just said something good, and he could have done that. He could have just made up something, but that's not what God needs. He's somebody that will speak his word, that will speak what he gives them. So, Chester, remember this. It takes leaders, and it always takes the helpers. And here was this man, Jeremiah, those people that will speak for God and tell the truth. And Chelsea, that's what we are as children of God, as Christian people, boys and girls, men and women. We speak the truth. We do what like Jesus did. So we have one faithful leader and 30 faithful helpers rescue Jeremiah. That was teamwork in action right there. Jeremiah was faithful, and so was the rescuers. They all work together. What a good example they are to us. They all pull together, and they could sing that song, if we all pull together, how happy we will be. Jeremiah kept speaking the truth after his freedom. No matter what, when he was out, whether he was in prison or out of prison, he was God's man. And that's the way it's got to be. Wherever you are, you got to be God's. That's right. You don't say one thing to hear what this person wants to say. Hear you say it, and over what this one wants to hear, you change it. No, you just speak the truth. That's what Jesus did, and that's what he wants his kids to do. That's right. He wants us to always speak the truth, and his word, in God's word, the Bible, it speaks the truths, Chesley, so we can read it and obey it. Read the Bible, pray every day. That's right, Chesley. Read the Bible, pray every day, love the Lord, and serve him. And one day we get to go live with him forever and ever. And right now, though, it's, don't say it, I'm scared. Don't be scared. It's just time for you to go to bed. No, I don't want to go to bed. Chesley, it's time to go to bed. I don't want to hear any crying out of you now. But you know what? I'm scared in that trunk there. I saw it turn. No, you didn't see it turn right. You just made that up. So we'll see you all next week, the Lord willing. You have a great, great evening. Look forward to seeing you next Sunday afternoon. Goodbye. I don't want to go to bed. Chesley, you're going to bed.